Hello again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching, for subscribing, for commenting, sharing, liking. I'm doing my second reading today on Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, and I'm using the Lightseer Tarot again for this reading. The previous reading I've just done was on Camilla's view of Harry and Meghan. An interesting reading, rather a sad reading. Go back and watch it if you're interested. This reading that I'm going to be doing, and I've already shuffled the cards, is on Camilla and Prince Charles. How are they doing at the moment as a couple? And I'll be looking at it from Camilla's point of view. And of course, this is just a tarot reading. This is just my opinion. This is just entertainment purposes. I don't think we're going to be getting anything scandalous in this reading that I need to be concerned about, but I'm just saying what I need to say. So, normal Celtic cross, and let's see what the cards have to say. And underneath the deck, we get the Temperance card in reverse. Temperance card in reverse. Probably most of you aren't familiar with the Lightseer's Tarot. So that is what the Temperance card, it's the angel, the healing angel, the divine, the blessing, the harmony, patience, all the good things, but it's in reverse. And in reverse, the relationship is out of balance. There is a lot of healing needed there, a lot of upset and difficulty at the moment. So major arcana and difficult times. No surprises there. And if you saw the previous reading, or if you go and watch the previous reading, that comes through quite clearly as well. So this is just simply confirming that they are in some difficulty at the moment. So what is the actual situation that they're in at the moment from Camilla's point of view? Page of Wands. And it's interesting that the Page of Cups came out in this position in the previous reading. The Page of Wands is coming out in this one. It's about children, very basically. Pages are children, juvenile energy. So it could be that they are very focused on children, a child, Prince Harry, or Prince Harry's children, as I suspected in the previous reading. Also, of course, the Page of Wands is about communicating and about PR, about news, and possibly starting a new kind of a campaign, or writing letters, or doing something that gets your message out. And so there is something about communication here with Charles and Camilla. The need for communication, for good, healthy, positive communication, positive message. Possibly they feel the need to improve their PR and put a good message out. And I gather, I don't do much social media, but I gather that they have pretty good PR people running their social media accounts at the moment. So possibly this. Better, I believe, than the Cambridges. Tell me what you think in the comments, what you think about that if you follow them on social media. But getting the need here to get involved in PR from this card mostly can mean all those other things as well, but needing to start a new PR campaign, a new impression, to get their point of view across to people, to get people to see them more positively. And of course, her in particular, she's always had very negative press. People have generally thought quite poorly of her. I don't personally, I have to say. My opinion of her has changed and improved over the years. But she's feeling the need for positive PR, and she seems to be getting out and about and doing it. Monty Don interview on the gardening guru, the UK gardening guru, just recently. So what is her challenge? And that's the Chariot in reverse, and the Chariot is of course the Cancerian card, major arcana for Cancerian, and Camilla is of course a Cancerian. So minor arcana here as the situation, major arcana as the obstacle, feeling like they're not making any progress, that however hard they work at trying to get their message across, they are being railroaded, they're not getting anywhere. This Chariot is just stuck and not driving forward. So she's feeling quite frustrated here, I get from these cards, that things are out of balance with this Temperance card as the underlying energy. Their public perception of them is not a very positive one with this Temperance card in reverse as well. They are really needing to push very hard to turn this situation around and get this Chariot driving forward. And of course, we always see the royals in their carriages and processions and things like that. This could actually be the Jubilee and stately processions and things not going well on that front, on the planning front. This PR card that I'm seeing underneath it could literally be plans for that just are not going well because of what's going on with the 2 in Montecito. So what's hidden from us? What don't we see? What is really motivating her behind the scenes with Prince Charles? And that's the 2 of Pentacles. And this is the overwhelm, the feeling of overwhelm. I just can't balance things. We're getting it again. It's exactly the same energy as the Temperance card in reverse. That's major arcana, feeling overwhelmed, feeling that things are out of alignment, that they're not going in your favor here. The Chariot also, 2 of Pentacles, feeling completely overwhelmed by the choices you've got to make. And who do you pick? Who do you choose? How do you prioritize things? Where do you give your energy to? Which child do you give your energy to? William, Harry, what do you do? Overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed and exhausted here, I'm getting. They probably both are. And rather distressing times, distressing to see these cards for them. If you're supporters of Charles and Camilla, distressing cards, distressing energy. What is her focus in relation to Prince Charles and the relationship? She's feeling really stuck. 8 of Swords. She's feeling trapped. I think she wishes she could leave. And I don't mean that nastily. I don't think she's on the phone to the divorce lawyer. But I just think she feels, what have I got myself into? This web that I have got trapped in. This person is just trapped, and the crows around her are pecking at her. That's the press, the media, the voices, the talk, the hostility, the noise. Camilla is a quiet person, I think, quite happy to be at home, gardening, pottering around, reading books, playing with her grandchildren, maybe even great-grandchildren by now, I don't know, must be. So she just can't see a way out of it. She would like to see a way out of it, but she can't see a way out of this situation at the moment. So, tough times for poor Camilla. And what has happened in the recent past? 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Wasted effort. Feeling like you put love and attention into a project that was really close to your heart, that you thought would bear fruit, that you thought would grow, thrive, dare I use that word, it's been co-opted by Meghan Markle, and do well, and it hasn't. Disappointment in the returns that you've got on a project that you've put a whole lot of effort into. It could be many things. It could be their relationship with the British public, that she feels that she has worked and worked and worked to get the British public onto her side, and she hasn't succeeded. It could be, of course, Harry and Meghan, that they have worked and worked and worked to try and fix that situation. They gave and gave and gave to that situation, money, time, effort, designer clothes, whatever, jewelry. Hasn't worked out. It hasn't borne fruit. It's been a loss. So there has been some kind of loss, because it's Pentacles, loss of effort, loss of money in its most basic sense, but loss of effort, a failure to get a return on the effort that you have expended on a situation. She's disappointed by that. I think it has a lot to do with the British public, that they just have never warmed to her. In poll after poll on YouGov, she comes out rock bottom. Of course, Harry and Meghan are now down there with her, but I'm sure that that is small consolation to her, and I do actually feel quite sorry for her. And what is coming up in the near future for Camilla and Charles? Death in the reverse. In the light seers, it's called death and rebirth, because of course with the death and the collapse and the disintegration and the ending comes a new beginning. So it is a more positive card, but because this card is in the reverse, it is tricky. It means that you are stuck in a situation, in a stagnant situation. Something that needs to die hasn't died. And when I say that, I have a terrible image in my mind, and I'm sure you all know where my mind leapt to, about the British royal family, and I'm not even going to articulate that thought, but they're stuck in a situation, that they will be stuck in a difficult situation for some time to come. Major Arcana, this Chariot in the reverse, not making any progress, the Death card in reverse, not getting out of a difficult situation, not being able to end it, not being able to move on, and of course the Temperance card in reverse. So heavy energy for her, really heavy energy. These are tough times. This is walking through really heavy mud, through almost quicksand, that the more she tries to move, the deeper she gets sucked into this mess that she cannot get out of. The cards are all knitting this story together, very much confirming each other in this reading. So, 2 questions that I have specifically set for the universe to answer in this reading. First question: how does she feel about Charles as king? We know how Diana felt about Charles as king. He would be useless. What does Camilla think of the matter? 2 of Cups in reverse. She worries it's going to break them up, that it's going to put enormous pressure on them and split them with the 2 of Cups in reverse. She really worries about the impact it's going to have on their relationship, how difficult it's going to be for them as a couple when he is king. In a more wide sense, it could be that she feels that the British public are not going to take to him as king, that they are going to want to break up with the royals as a relationship. And I do get that energy off this, but it is more that she feels it's going to be difficult. And as I'm saying that, and I'm looking at the card, note the skin tones of the hands that are entwined here in this card, and of course Harry and Meghan. And it could be that she feels that their dramas, their possible relationship breakup, is going to intrude on his time as king, that he is going to be dealing with some personal unhappiness while he is king, that this is going to affect it. This is not major arcana. This isn't a big deal. We're not getting thinks he's going to be a rotten king or thinks he's going to be a brilliant king, anything like that. It's more concern. She is, of course, a water sign woman. It's a concern about emotions, about how their relationship is going to fare through this new phase, but also how the public's going to take to them. Also, there may be a breakup in the royal family, a partnership in the royal family, different skin tones there that break up, and this affects Charles as king in some way because of the racial aspect. And this reminds me, I mentioned it in my previous Camilla reading, I will be doing a reading on Prince Charles in the next few days. I have been wanting to do this for quite a long time, months in fact, on Prince Charles, and a video that Bookworm 2, for those of you who are aware of Bookworm 2, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, go and look at her channel. Prince Charles. Was Prince Charles behind this relationship? Did he in fact have something to do with it? And of course, this is just a tarot reading, and I am just speculating. This is my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm going to be reading around this card in the near future, in the next few days, hopefully, if the energy allows me to. It's been a very, very weird week in my own personal life and in the world out there. News headlines I just don't want to see, and I'm sure you all don't want to look at them either. Anyway, so that's how she feels about Prince Charles as king. How does she feel about her own role? What is heading her way as she becomes queen consort? Oh, she's dreading it. The Strength card in reverse. Just so you can see how the light seers depicts the Strength card. Strength in reverse, another major arcana. She's really not fussed about what happens to Prince Charles. Her focus, her big fear is what happens to her. It is fear. She's dreading it. She thinks it could literally be the undoing of her, that she is not going to have the strength to cope with the challenges, the demands, the difficulty, the more public focus, the public hostility, resentment, the amount of time and effort she's going to have to put into it. She is probably not in most robust of health, and somebody did ask me that, and I mentioned it in the previous Camilla reading. This is not, she fears that she's not going to be up to the job, quite literally, physically, I think, and also just energetically. And she, I think, also fears that she might have a really negative impact on the royal family, because the Strength card is the Leo card, is the House of Windsor, is the royals, the royal line. She has grave doubts about her place there, whether she belongs whether she should be there at all. And so some very serious cards coming out here, very difficult major arcana coming out here in this reading on Camilla and Prince Charles. So hopes and fears for her in their relationship. Hopes and fears, the wheel. She's just praying. I think she literally is getting on bended knee every day and asking for divine intervention, for help. Another major arcana. This is the lucky break card. This is the please. Almost, I'm getting a Garden of Gethsemane moment. Please take this cup from me. She feels so stuck. She really feels stuck. Two stuck cards. Eight of Swords, Death in reverse. Stuck cards, out of balance card, overwhelmed cards here. So we're getting repeats. And very interesting, actually, how these cards are coming out. And definitely the universe wanted to have this reading done today, and for Camilla to have her say. I think she needs help. And if there are those of you out there who feel sympathy for her and feel like giving her an energetic boost, please do. She needs it. She really needs it. She's looking for it. She's looking for help. She's looking for guidance. She's looking for something to intervene in a positive way. I think she's kind of hoping that they get skipped over, and she really doesn't have to step up to this job that she dreads so much, that she fears, and doesn't think that she is cut out for, doesn't think she's destined for. She doesn't think this is her job, and she's hoping that fate intervenes and takes it away from her. Very interesting energy. So what is the outcome for them in all of this difficult energy, in this difficult situation? Well, that's lovely. That is a lovely, lovely outcome for them. The Six of Cups, that is family reunions, spending time with your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your pets, your garden in Camilla's case, reuniting with people that you haven't seen for a long time, people from your past, people you love, people you view as part of your family. So reconciliation here, that theme that I get over and over and over, and I got in the previous Camilla reading. There is some hope for Camilla in the end here. There are some happier times awaiting her, and I'm very pleased to be able to say that and share that with you, share this card with you, this lovely card, this lovely energy. This is not having to put on your finery and go in your carriage and your tiara and do all of that stuff. This is being comfortably at home. Perhaps her wish is going to be granted, and she will be allowed to stay comfortably at home with her loved ones, and perhaps Some of the loved ones from overseas, we don't love them. I certainly don't love them, but they love them. Perhaps those loved ones will be welcomed at home sometime soon too. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you on the next reading.